All right, let's dive into the creative world of Jimmy James.
Sounds like a wild one.
Yeah, we've got his upcoming album, Absolutely, a Labs single, and we're lucky enough to have some sneak peeks into the songs.
Some early access.
Yeah, and plus some of his personal notes too.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be it's not your typical album preview, that's for sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he describes this album as like a sonic world, right?
Okay.
But he says it's built with different voices and not necessarily like his own singing voice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what kind of sonic landscape is he building?
Yeah, what's he using to build it, right?
And how does that reflect his artistic vision, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not a straightforward approach, that's for sure.
Right. It's very conceptual, and he even mentions this raplet type, poem-fi type style.
Okay, break that down for me.
Yeah. So we've got lyrics from No Concern to Absolutely, a Wabazin single, YouTube versus You.
Oh, wow, a lot to unpack.
And more, yeah.
All right.
Plus transcripts from his YouTube channel, The Jimmy James Show AZ.
Okay.
And then, like I said, some personal notes he shared with us.
Yeah, so it's like we're getting a multi-dimensional view of his creative process.
Exactly. And we see this tension between his artistic passion and then like the financial realities of the platforms he's using.
Yeah, totally. Like, how do you make a living as an artist these days?
Right. And so he uses this app.
Okay.
It's well, he doesn't name it, but it's this app where you it has these music labs where you can create music, right?
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
And he's worried about the coins running out.
Oh, yeah, those in-app purchases can get you.
Exactly, and it's like, that could stifle his creativity.
Yeah, that's a real dilemma.
Okay, so let's jump into No Concern 2.
All right, let's hear it.
The lyrics are dark, like really dark.
Okay, how so?
It's very apocalyptic.
Okay.
Like the world is burning, there's this destructive force, and he even says, eventually I will destroy you and everything.
Woo, okay, that's intense.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Definitely not your typical love song.
No, not at all. It's like giving up because things are so bad.
Yeah, that sense of nihilism, like what's the point?
Right, exactly. And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
He reflected on those lyrics later.
Oh, really?
And he said he didn't realize the full weight of what he was writing until after it was done.
Wow, so it was like it came from somewhere deep.
Yeah, almost subconscious.
Interesting.
Like the meaning emerged later.
That's how you know it's real, man. It's like it's coming from a real place.
And then he revisits the song with a remix.
Oh, wow.
So it's like he's having a dialogue with his past self.
Through the music.
Exactly, adding new layers of meaning.
I like that.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's like he's evolving. You know, his understanding of the song is evolving.
Yeah, totally. And I was thinking like maybe this apocalyptic theme, it's tapping into some broader anxieties we see today. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the world.
Like climate change, social and political upheaval.
Right.
All the negativity from the news.
It's hard to escape it.
Right. And maybe No Concern 2 is, a reflection of that.
Okay, yeah, like a collective unease.
That's it, yeah.
That things are out of control.
Right, like spiraling.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so then we have Absolutely Amazing single.
Okay, this is the title track.
Yeah, and it's really introspective.
How so?
Well, he questions his purpose, and he's uncertain about why he's even creating, you know.
Oh, wow, that's deep.
Yeah, and he even says, what the fuck do they even see in me?
Okay, so there's some self-doubt there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's raw, very vulnerable.
It's like he's laying it all out there.
Right, the inner turmoil.
Yeah, the stuff that fuels creativity.
And then he gets into this exploration of faith and religion.
Okay, it's interesting.
It seems very personal, but also challenging to societal norms.
So like he's questioning everything.
Yeah, I think so.
That's cool. It's like he's on his own journey.
Right, and we see this in I Am Lost too.
Okay.
He mentions talking to a spiritual person and coming out knowing more, but still being skeptical.
Okay, yeah, so there's that tension again.
Right, like searching for meaning, but wrestling with doubt.
It's relatable.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially these days, right?
Definitely, and this questioning attitude,
yeah,
it extends to how he views influencers.
Oh, interesting.
He's very skeptical, like wary of those who present themselves as gurus or authorities.
Makes sense. Like, who are these people to tell us how to live our lives?
Right, and it ties back to, his emphasis on authenticity.
Okay.
Creating something real and meaningful, not chasing fame or followers.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so YouTube versus you takes this skepticism towards online culture even further.
All right, so he's going all in on this.
Oh yeah, it's a full-on critique of YouTube.
Whoa.
The addictive algorithms, the guru and selling fantasies.
It's a rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah, and the disconnect between online personas and real life.
Totally.
And he even says YouTube's the pusher, algorithms day dealer.
Damn, that's a strong statement.
It is, right? And there's this urgency in his message. Like he's worried about the negative influence these platforms can have.
Especially on young people, right?
Yeah, and he doesn't shy away from calling out YouTube directly.
He's not holding back.
Nope. He uses pretty harsh language to describe its impact.
Okay, so he's really concerned about this.
I think so, yeah. He even uses the term virtual chains.
Wow.
To describe how we get trapped in these online ecosystem.
It's a powerful image.
It is, right.
Like we're losing our freedom.
And it connects back to that theme of authenticity.
Okay.
Like he's urging listeners to, break free.
Yeah, reclaim their agency.
Exactly, to think critically about the information they're consuming.
Not just passively absorbing everything.
Right, and to create their own narratives instead of accepting the ones being fed to them.
It's a call to action, really.
Totally, it's not just complaining. It's about encouraging people to be more aware, more discerning.
More engaged with the real world.
Exactly.
I like that.
So we've got this, dark apocalyptic vision in No Concern 2.
Right.
Deep introspection and exploration of faith in Absolutely Amism Single.
Yeah.
And then this scathing critique of YouTube culture in YouTube versus you.
It's a lot to unpack, that's for sure.
It is, and we're just getting started.
I'm ready for more.
But I think we're already getting a sense of who Jimmy James is.
Yeah. What do you think?
He's raw, honest, and fearless.
Definitely not afraid to speak his mind.
Not at all.
And he's pushing boundaries too, right?
Oh yeah, musically and conceptually.
Like we're seeing hints of this raplet style, the different voices, the sonic landscapes he's creating.
And that commitment to using his platform to challenge us.
To make us think.
I'm really curious to see how these themes develop.
Me too. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah, there's so much more to explore.
I'm ready to dive deeper.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. So, we were talking about pushing boundaries.
Yeah.
And, I think it's really interesting how Jimmy James connects his creative process to his ADHD.
Right, like he doesn't shy away from it?
Not at all. He actually attributes his rhyming style to it.
Wow.
Yeah, and he talks about how it, makes him super aware of his surroundings.
Like hypersensitive?
Yeah, exactly. And so he's basically taking what some people might see as a limitation and turning it into a strength.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like he's owning it,
Totally. And it makes you think about how that heightened awareness, all that input, all the stimuli.
Yeah.
How does that translate into his music?
Right. Like, does it affect the sound?
The lyrics? Everything.
Got it, right?
Maybe that's what gives his work that frenetic energy.
Okay, yeah, like a lot of ideas colliding.
Exactly. And it's definitely something to pay attention to as we, delve deeper.
For sure.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about his Philly roots.
All right, Philly.
Yeah, you hear it in songs like Just a Philly Kid V2.
Okay.
This sense of grit, determination.
Yeah, that hustler mentality.
Exactly. And it's like the city is woven into his DNA.
Shaping his perspective.
His sound, everything.
It's more than just a place for him.
Right.
It's like a source of inspiration.
Totally.
Creative energy.
And it's in, the rawness of the lyrics, the honesty, the way he tackles tough topics.
He doesn't shy away from anything.
And there's a certain authenticity that comes from, growing up in a city like Philly.
Right. It's a tough city.
Known for its resilience.
Yeah, that blue collar work ethic.
No nonsense attitude.
And you can hear that in his music.
Definitely.
It's like Philly gave him a unique lens to view the world through.
Yeah, a lens that's gritty but hopeful.
Cynical but compassionate.
Exactly.
It's a fascinating combination.
It is. And speaking of hope, let's talk about mentally unstable.
Okay, this is a heavy one.
It is. It's raw, honest.
How so?
He's talking about his struggles with mental health. And he doesn't sugarcoat it.
No.
He lays it all out there. The pain, the confusion, the sense of being lost.
It's like he's bearing his soul.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting?
What's that?
Even in the midst of all that darkness.
Yeah.
There's a glimmer of hope.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He says, there's always something that will be near and dear in these troubled times.
So he's acknowledging the darkness, but not giving into it.
Right. He's holding on to that belief that things can get better.
Even when it's hard to see the light.
Exactly. And he connects his own mental health struggles to, a larger societal context.
Okay. Interesting.
He says, our mental stability is breaking into something unknown.
Wow. So he sees it as more than just an individual issue.
Right. It's like a reflection of the pressures of modern life.
Yeah, all the anxiety.
We're living in a crazy time.
For sure. Things are changing so fast.
And I think, Jimmy James is giving voice to those struggles.
Okay.
He's creating a space for others to feel seen.
To feel understood.
And it all ties back to his authenticity.
Right. He's not afraid to be vulnerable.
And in doing so, he creates a sense of connection with his listeners.
Yeah, like we're all in this together.
Exactly.
I like that a lot.
And he addresses these issues directly in Why You Feel This Way.
Okay, what does he say?
He speaks directly to those who are struggling with depression. He says, I've been depressed for so many years, and I know now that I'm not the only one who feels this.
Wow, that's powerful.
It's a message of hope and solidarity.
Coming from someone who gets it.
Exactly. And I think it's a message that's, desperately needed.
For sure. We need to talk about these things more.
Yeah, break down the stigma.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about another recurring theme.
All right, what's that?
This exploration of spirituality and the afterlife.
Okay, interesting.
It's not always clear what he believes.
Right.
But there's definitely a spiritual element to his creative process.
Like he's searching for something more.
Yeah, something beyond the material world.
A deeper meaning.
Exactly. And we see this in I Am Lost.
Okay.
He talks about going to the spiritual, talking to a skeptical person,
Interesting.
and coming out knowing more.
But still questioning.
It's cryptic.
For sure.
But it suggests, a yearning for transcendence.
Like he's trying to understand the mysteries of life and death.
Right. And this exploration of spirituality, it often intersects with his personal struggles, his anxieties, his search for meaning.
It's like he's using his art to grapple with these big questions.
Totally. And it's a journey that, a lot of us can relate to.
Yeah, we're all searching for something.
Trying to make sense of it all.
And Jimmy James he's inviting us to join him on that quest.
I like that.
Yeah, he's not afraid to delve into the unknown.
To share his discoveries.
It's inspiring.
And, speaking of delving into the unknown.
Okay.
Let's talk about the morale.
All right, what's this one about?
It's a fictional story.
Okay.
But he claims it's based on true events.
Oh, wow.
It's about this young man named Alex.
Okay.
Who robs a convenience store to get money for pills.
Damn, that's heavy.
And then his actions indirectly lead to the death of a police officer.
Oh, wow. So there's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's a really harrowing tale.
It sounds intense.
It is. And it raises a lot of questions about morality.
Responsibility.
The consequences of our choices.
He's not shying away from the dark side of things.
Not at all. And it's interesting how he weaves in technology.
Okay, how so?
He mentions that the story was grammatically corrected by Jiminy Advanced.
So there's an AI element to it.
Right, and it makes you wonder, like, how much of this is Jimmy James and how much is AI?
Yeah, is he blurring the lines intentionally?
Maybe, and it adds this, this whole other layer of complexity to the story.
For sure, because he's talked about, wanting to be authentic, not relying too heavily on AI.
But he's also not afraid to use technology.
So it's like he's exploring that gray area.
Where human creativity and AI intersect.
Yeah, it's a fascinating space.
And it's becoming more and more relevant as as AI tools get more sophisticated.
Totally, and it raises those questions about authorship, the role of technology in art.
But, it's not just about the technology.
Right.
It's about the human element, the emotional depth.
The moral complexity.
And he brings all of that to the story.
Yeah, he's using AI to enhance his storytelling.
To push the boundaries.
And that's what's so exciting about his work.
Totally. He's not afraid to experiment, to innovate.
To embrace the unknown.
And he's doing it with, a level of honesty and vulnerability that's rare these days.
I agree. It's refreshing.
Okay, so let's shift our focus to his relationship with his audience.
All right, so how does he interact with his fans?
Well, it's clear that he values authenticity.
Okay.
And connection.
Right.
And he's not afraid to engage with them directly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to challenge them, to provoke them, to make them think.
Like he's not just trying to entertain them.
Right. He wants to empower them.
To make them question things.
And we see this in, YouTube versus you.
Okay.
He directly calls out viewers.
About what?
About, blindly following online gurus.
Yeah, the dangers of that.
And he urges them to, to break free from the virtual chains of social media.
It's a powerful message.
It is. And there's this, this sense of urgency.
Like he feels a responsibility.
Exactly. To use his platform for something more than just entertainment.
To make a difference.
Right. And he's not afraid to be controversial.
Okay. How so?
Well, he's, he was willing to speak truth to power.
Even if it pisses some people off.
And we see this in the morale too, where he criticizes Spotify's algorithms.
Oh, wow.
He expresses frustration with their lack of support for, independent creators.
He's calling them out.
Yeah, and it's a bold move.
It is. It shows that he's, he's putting his principles before profits.
And it's inspiring.
It is. It's like he's saying, I'm not just going to sit here and complain. I'm going to do something about it.
And he's using his art to, to advocate for change.
To challenge the system.
To create a more equitable world.
It's powerful stuff.
It is. And he's, he's doing it all with this raw, unfiltered energy.
And it's what makes him so compelling.
It's captivating, contagious.
And he's not afraid to be vulnerable.
To show his flaws, to admit when he's struggling.
And that makes him relatable.
Exactly. It's like he's saying, hey, it's okay to not be okay.
We're all human.
And that's, that's a powerful message.
It is. It's a message of hope, of resilience, of human connection.
And it shines through in his work, even in the midst of all the darkness.
It's like he's reminding us that we're not alone.
That we can overcome adversity.
That there's still beauty to be found in the world.
Yeah, and it's not just about the message.
Right.
It's about the way he delivers it.
His style.
This raplet type, poem-fied type style.
It's unique.
It blends spoken word poetry with rap.
Creates this stream of consciousness flow.
It's captivating, just like him.
Exactly.
He's constantly pushing the boundaries of language.
Experimenting with form and rhythm.
Creating a sonic landscape that's, familiar but also entirely new.
It's fresh. It's original.
It's pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
He's not just a rapper or a poet.
He's an innovator.
A disruptor.
A voice that demands to be heard.
And his impact is being felt, far beyond the music industry.
He's inspiring a new generation of artists.
To embrace their own voices.
To challenge conventions.
To create art that matters.
And he's doing it all with, a sense of humor.
A twinkle in his eye.
A willingness to laugh at himself.
He doesn't take himself too seriously.
And that makes him so relatable.
Absolutely. It's like he's saying, hey, let's not forget to have fun.
Yeah, let's find the joy in the midst of all this chaos.
And that's a powerful message, too.
It is, because laughter is, it's a powerful antidote.
To the darkness, to the cynicism.
He's reminding us to find the light.
To embrace the absurdity of life.
And to laugh, even when it hurts.
I love that.
So we've talked about the darkness, the struggles, the anxieties.
Yeah.
But there's also this incredible humor.
It's a balance.
This ability to find light in the midst of chaos.
And it's what makes his work so compelling.
Yeah, he's not offering easy answers or simple solutions.
He's grappling with the complexities of life.
The contradictions, the paradoxes.
The messiness of it all.
And he's doing it with, with honesty and authenticity.
That's what makes him stand out.
It's refreshing, inspiring.
And he's creating a space for others to do the same.
To embrace their imperfections.
Their own unique and messy humanness.
It's a reminder that it's in those imperfections.
Those cracks and features.
That the light shines through.
And that's where the most compelling art comes from.
It's interesting how he kind of weaves these threads of memory and humor into his, social commentary.
Yeah.
Like in the Newslands, where he tells this fictional story about a robbery, but then he connects it to the manipulative nature of clickbait media.
Right.
And the whole cycle of consumerism.
It's really clever how he brings those ideas together. On the surface, it's a crime story.
Yeah.
But then underneath, there's this whole critique of how we're being robbed, by these systems that are like,
they prey on our attention.
Yeah, our attention, our desires.
Variety.
He's making us think about, how we're constantly bombarded with information, advertising.
And how that shapes us.
Yeah, our perceptions, our choices.
Totally. He's not afraid to make those connections between, the personal and the political.
Right. He sees how these big systems impact our individual lives.
And he calls them out.
Yeah. He's not just complaining, though. He's encouraging us to be more aware.
More discerning.
Yeah, about the information we consume.
With choices we make.
He's offering a different way of seeing things, a way of thinking that, challenges the status quo.
Empowers us.
Yeah, to take back control.
And even in the midst of all that heaviness.
Yeah.
He still finds a way to, to inject humor.
He always does.
Like in Memes in News Take 1, where he's talking about struggling to find rhymes for who knows and blows.
Right.
And then he throws in this line about taking you like Coke ticks to your nose.
Oh, yeah.
It's so unexpected.
Catches you off guard.
Makes you laugh.
He's a master of that.
He really is. It's like he's saying, hey, let's not take ourselves too seriously.
Right. Let's find the humor in it all.
And that ability to laugh at ourselves is,
It's a gift.
it really is. It's a reminder that even when things are tough,
Yeah.
we can still find joy.
Connection, those moments are important.
They are. They keep us going.
They give us hope.
So we've talked a lot about, his rap-lit style.
Yeah, this blend of rap and poetry.
Spoken word.
It's really unique.
But there's another element to his creative process that I think we should discuss.
All right, what's that?
His relationship with AI.
Okay, yeah, we touched on that a little bit.
He's clearly talented, but he's also open about using, this music AI app.
To help him create.
And it brings up some interesting questions.
Like what?
Well, how do we define creativity in the age of AI?
Right. What's the role of technology in art?
Is there a line between using AI as a tool?
And letting it take over?
Exactly. And I think he's wrestling with those questions himself.
Yeah, it's a tricky balance.
On the one hand, he's all about authenticity, creating from a place of personal truth,
But he's also, he's open to experimentation
embracing new technologies.
to see how they can, push his creativity further.
It's like he's walking this fine line.
And it's fascinating to watch.
It really is. And he even, he explicitly warns against relying too heavily on AI,
Oh, really?
especially for those starting out.
What does he say?
It's like, use the tools, but don't let the tools use you.
Okay, yeah.
Develop your own voice, your own style, your own vision.
It's good advice.
And it's relevant to the whole conversation around AI and creativity.
Right. There's this fear that AI is going to replace human artists.
But it'll lead to, a loss of originality.
Everything's sounding the same.
But I think Jimmy James is showing us that it doesn't have to be that way.
Okay.
AI can be a tool for empowerment.
To expand our creative possibilities.
But it's up to us, the humans, to guide the process.
To bring your own perspective.
Your own experiences.
To make it meaningful.
And that's what makes him so inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
He's not afraid to experiment,
Push boundaries.
to challenge conventions.
He's showing us that the future of art is not about, man versus machine.
Right.
It's about collaboration.
Finding ways to work together.
To leverage technology in service of human expression.
And that's a vision of the future that I can get behind.
Me too. It's a future where, creativity is democratized.
Where anyone can find an audience.
Share their story.
It's a future worth fighting for.
Absolutely. He's not just creating art. He's building a community.
A movement.
A space where creativity can thrive.
Where voices can be heard.
And where the human spirit can soar.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
From, dark apocalyptic visions to explorations of faith and self-doubt.
Social commentary.
Hateful experiments with AI.
We've seen it all.
His vulnerability, his rage, his humor, his brilliance.
It's been a journey.
It really has. We've explored his lyrics, his YouTube channel, his personal notes.
His podcast.
And through it all, we've seen this portrait emerge of an artist.
Who is deeply human.
Deeply flawed.
But profoundly inspiring.
So what does it all mean? What can we take away from this this deep dive into Jimmy James's world?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that, authenticity matters in a world that's so full of noise and artificiality.
Yeah.
He stands out because he's unapologetically himself.
He's not trying to fit in.
No, he's not trying to please everyone.
He's just creating from a place of, deep personal truth.
And that's what makes his work so powerful.
So relatable.
So resonant.
He's a reminder that it's okay to be vulnerable.
To be messy.
To be real.
Yeah, our flaws, our imperfections, those are often our greatest strengths.
And the most compelling art.
It often comes from those who are willing to embrace, the full spectrum of human experience.
The darkness and the light.
The joy and the pain.
He's challenging us to think differently.
About the world, about ourselves.
About the power of art to connect us.
To heal us.
To transform us.
He's a voice for the voiceless.
A champion for the underdog.
A beacon of hope in a world that often feels dark and uncertain.
And he's doing it all on his own terms.
Yeah, forging his own path.
Creating his own rules.
Inspiring.
He's a reminder that we all have the power to create.
To connect.
To make a difference.
And that our voices, no matter how messy or imperfect, are worth sharing.
So if you haven't already, check out Jimmy James's music.
His podcast, The Jimmy James Show, AZ.
You might be surprised by what you discover.
And who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to create something yourself.
And definitely keep an ear out for his new album, Absolutely Amazon Single.
Dropping February 6, 2025.
It's going to be an experience you won't forget.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep exploring.
Keep creating.